We welcome in Newsmax TV political analyst Dick Morris. Dick, of course, the author of the bestseller Armageddon, How Trump Can Beat Hillary. And Dick is joining us tonight via Skype. Thanks again, and it is important to say the least. Now, Dick, you may have heard me. I'm a creature of habit. I enjoyed practicing in mock debates, and Hillary has been doing that for a good bit of this time leading up to the debate. Does that give her any sort of advantage?
Well, it's how she would like to prepare. You can prepare in all different ways. Ted Cruz, for example, preparing for the debates, never had a mock debate. It was always just a conversation and learning about it and thinking about it. Hillary preparing for a debate, because I have prepared her for debates, is like a jukebox. In response to the question about health care, she'll play C11. And in response to the question about national security, she'll play B12. And in response to the question about immigration, she'll play A14. Those are the standard responses she gives to everything. Now, if you don't happen to know which song each of those refer to, just listen in the opening chords, you'll be able to predict the entire answer. Hillary is as rote and as routinized and as memorized as one comes. I think, though, in many, many debates, what Woody Allen said is true. Showing up is more than half the battle. I think he said 80%. And when John Kennedy showed up in 1960 debating Nixon, he debunked the claim that he was too young and inexperienced to be president. And that was the only thing holding him back. And when he got rid of that lodestone, he was able to move on and gain a lead in the polling. When Ronald Reagan walked out onto the stage in 1980, he was able to show that he wasn't the reincarnation of Barry Goldwater. He wasn't some trigger-happy cowboy. He wasn't just a movie actor. He knew his stuff, he understood public policy, and he seemed like a reasonable guy. So Trump's job when he walks out there is to not be deplorable, not have lacking temperament, not lacking judgment, not being sexist, not being racist, not being any of the things Hillary Clinton has cut him out to be. And the nice thing there is that once he does that, he gets rid of all of the arguments in Hillary's campaign. Let me put it this way. Hillary could beat Donald Trump if there were no debates. But with debates, she probably can't.
And in terms of tonight's debate, Dick, Newt Gingrich appeared on Fox News Sunday evening, and he responded to reports that Mrs. Clinton and her campaign really now calling for vigorous fact-checking during the course of tonight's debate by NBC's moderator Lester Holt. Let's look and listen.
I've never seen a campaign so publicly indicate that they don't have faith in their own candidate. They apparently don't think Hillary can stand up to Trump. They don't think that she can correct him if he's wrong. They somehow want Lester to be their partner. They're desperate to create a 2-on-1 situation where Lester and Hillary are on one side and Donald's on the other. And I think, first of all, I don't think Holt's dumb enough to do it.
And no, for the record, apparently Lester Holt is a registered Republican for another reason, but the whole notion that the Clinton people think they can lean on Lester Holt, does that bespeak of the arrogance of the left and the Democrats?
Yeah, and it's an example of how the media works. We all assume the media is biased to the left because they're all liberals, and that's part of it. But the real point is that they depend on peer group approval in their careers. Their goal is to get an Emmy or a Pulitzer and move up in their own occupation and go from job to higher and higher levels, all motivated by peer group approval. So when Matt Lauer was fair in the last televised confrontation, all the media types descended on him and talked about how biased he was. And the goal of that is to try to put fear into the heart of any moderator and force them to be biased toward Hillary. They want another, what's it named, Candy Crawley,
Yeah, Candy
with-
Crowley was the one in that last debate with Obama and Mitt Romney, and really tipped the scales for Obama on something she was wrong about. Hey, we got about a minute left. Now, I want to get to something. We referenced it earlier tonight, and we'll get back to it in our post-debate coverage tonight. The 10 points you outlined on our parent website, Newsmax.com. They're great. I recommend people checking out. But the big one for me tonight, Dick, is demand Hillary take and release an MRI exam. Tell us more about that in the 30 seconds we have remaining.
It doesn't matter if we have a president that's physically disabled. FDR did fine. But it is important that we not have one who is demented, who is senile, who is subject to that kind of deterioration, because then we're really stuck. And I think that Trump should say, look, you've had a blood clot between your skull and your brain. You've had several fainting episodes. And I don't mean to be an alarmist, but I think you should reassure the American people about your health. And a note from your doctor won't suffice. This is not some second-grade excuse for staying home because of a cold.
And so she needs to have this test to make it public. Gotcha. Dick, time is getting away from us, but we're making more time for you later tonight, and we appreciate all your insights and analysis. It is worth noting again that we plan to be on the air tonight until midnight, and we will want to know who you think won the debate when it's all said and done. After it ends, tell us who you think won by voting for us, going to NewsmaxPolls.com. That's NewsmaxPolls.com. So much going on tonight. Coming up, Betsy McCoy, Sabrina Schaefer, and our own Steve Malzberg, plus a news update from Miranda Khan, when our special coverage of tonight's upcoming debate continues right here on Newsmax TV.